What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Movie Roulette Mondays here. We got a great review today here, always joined by Nick right behind the camera here. I've said here about 4 times so far, so I'll try not to anymore. We're talking about The Terminator, 1984, the James Cameron classic. Really probably the one that put him on the map, I think the most, was probably this movie. He said it came to him in a dream. He said he saw the image of the Terminator emerging from the fire. I think he was really on acid. Because he also said that he got the idea from Avatar in a dream. But anyway.
He's a dreamer.
Yeah, it was, he's the 80s. So, listen, this is a classic. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know if, was this his first movie? Or one of, I'm curious if it was. But I know that James Cameron's spoken about casting him. And really, it was all about getting someone who just looks the part. You know, he has very few lines. Perfect for it. I mean, no one, I don't think, is calling Arnold a great actor. But he's a great screen presence, without a doubt.
Piranha 2 was the first movie that he directed in 1981.
Who directed that?
James Cameron.
Really?
Piranha 2.
How'd that? Oh, I have heard about that. Yeah.
But this was his first film. He did The Terminator, then he did Aliens, then The Abyss.
But was this Arnold's first movie?
Oh, Arnold's. I think you meant James Cameron's first movie.
No. Was this Arnold's first movie?
I think so. He was a bodybuilder before.
Bodybuilder. But
and that's,
I mean, overall, synopsis of the story, it starts off in the future, 2029, not very far now, looking at it. It's always funny when you watch Blade Runner and it's like
so
2019.
15.
But, was it?
Yeah,
oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. It's all right.
But basically, it starts there, gives a little prelude. The machines, very vague, but the machines, AI, have taken over. Big war, nuclear war happened, and the humans are on the cusp of extinction. And then we flash to present time, which when this came out was 1984, and the Terminator, Arnold, time travels there and is hunting down a girl whose name just lost my mind, Sarah Connor.
Yes.
Played by Linda Hamilton, who's phenomenal in this role. And then basically she's tracking her down the whole movie. He kills all the Sarah Connors he can find. It's a cool concept. And you find out that the reason he's after her is because her future son that she has not had yet ends up leading the resistance in the future against these Terminators. And she's assisted by Kyle Reese, who is a guy that works for her son in the future, who comes back to protect her from this.
And become the father
and
of
becomes the father of... Yeah. So, I mean, really cool. Just on that base, it's a really cool concept. I can't imagine being... I try to picture myself in the theater, like, when this came out, and, like, having not seen anything that we've seen.
Yeah.
And then seeing this, and it's like, this is probably crazy.
I mean, this is a crazy concept.
Yeah. And it's a crazy concept, but you could tell that it was done. Like, James Cameron was still an up-and-coming director, didn't have the $200 million budget. He's like, it's not going to take, like, the opening thing with the battle, you could tell it's all miniatures. You know what I'm saying?
But it was so good,
No,
though.
but you could say, like, then it took place in Los Angeles present time. You know, he didn't need to spend $200 million on this sci-fi futuristic thing. It's very kind of grounded.
Yeah.
In a way, and it's a horror movie, kind of.
There's a lot of death.
Yeah, a lot of graphic violence.
A lot of graphic violence, which I think plays into, it's funny because what we consider graphic violence today, like, obviously a lot of the effects and stuff, like, I would be okay with, like, a kid watching this movie.
This isn't Game of Thrones where you see the eyes get popped out.
Right.
Or you see, like, in these 80s movies, like Indiana Jones, when the guy's face is melting, you can see it switch to just, like, a fake body that they just melted.
Yeah, with wax.
Right,
stuff.
Yeah.
But I will say, though, that it's, for 1984, it's pretty graphic.
Yeah, it's aged well.
Imagine seeing it in theaters would be, 25-foot tall.
Yeah.
Naked Arnold Schwarzenegger coming down, and I don't know. I really like the concept of it. I think it plays into like all the AI stuff from today. I think it's
we've been talking a lot about those. Yeah.
Well, it's getting pretty prevalent.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, and kind of scary because what if by 2029?
Maybe who knows what happens in the next few years? Could we get
Imagine
Terminator?
they'll take over in like a 4-year period, or 5 years, whatever it is.
Yep.
That would be scary.
John Connor, is there any John Connor out there watching?
Anybody gonna save us?
Yeah.
Anybody gonna save us? Yeah, so I don't know. I enjoyed it. I think it's great. I think it's aged well. I think some of the makeup is a little.
You know what's funny is the scene where he is in the
car
hotel room.
Oh, okay.
And he's looking at the thing, and they shoot him from the side, and from the side you can tell there's no prosthetic because when he shifts like the eyes out and he shifts to the camera, you only see this half of his face.
Yeah.
But then they go to the front, and it's like this white prosthetic. And then he walks out of the room, and he has glasses on, so you can't see the eye, and you can tell his face is just normal.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. Yeah. And then the Terminator itself in that final fight, which is great, you could see it switches back from like a stop motion thing to then a practical object. Yeah. But I mean, it's cool.
I personally see that's the kind of stuff that makes movies so cool to me. It's like you buy it and you just go with it.
Right.
And you're like, it sells and it works.
You accept that it's when it came out.
And that doesn't mean that the CG stuff isn't cool, but like I would go see a movie that looked like that today.
Yeah.
And be like, that's a good movie.
I mean, the last shot when Sarah's driving away, she's driving into a matte painting.
Yeah.
You know? It's just like, it's just like.
It's true. It's true.
But yeah, really cool concept.
Driving into a wall. Yeah. Literally.
Really cool concept. Classic movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the 80s. We've watched a lot of 80s movies on this. I feel like. For every 80s movie we watch, I still disagree with Tarantino even more about him saying this is one of the worst eras of film in Hollywood. It was, from a retrospective standpoint, it was the dawn of the blockbuster. And if you look at all the movies we're getting sequels and reboots to now, it's all movies that came out then. So if you look at it that way and say it ruined the industry now, sure. But when it came out, like Star Wars, you had Empire
Star
coming
Wars
out.
was 70s, though, bro.
No, but Empire was 81, was 80.
Yeah.
Return of the Jedi, 83. You had Terminator, 84. Blade Runner, E.T., Back to the Future. Like, all these, like, incredible... Just for sci-fi alone, it was fantastic. But there's Rambo we reviewed. Like, there's so many great movies.
I feel like the 80s, though, it brought B movies to the forefront. You know what I mean? Like, Rambo and I don't know.
But the blockbuster, the action, and but they still had
why,
heart.
But
though,
that's
and
why
they still had
Tarantino.
substance.
Yeah, but that's why Tarantino does.
Right,
like,
he's a story guy.
He's a story guy. You know, he's not wrong, but he's. I
They're
don't
not.
know if he's
they're not
necessarily
as layered.
Right.
Yeah.
And to each their own.
Which is why they're all under 2 hours. You know, they're all like an hour 45. But
and
I
it's
still like it.
all the same shit.
Yeah.
Guys, damsel in distress, action hero, masculine guy saves the world.
Yeah.
And it's not just the damsel he saves the entire universe at the same time.
But I will say James Cameron, between Aliens, the Avatar movies, Titanic, like he
Titanic was 94.
No, but
92.
I'm just saying, like, he has a good history of, like, making strong female, like, leads.
Yeah, that's
true. You have
true.
Ripley, you have Sarah Connor, you have, I think he does a really good job of that, yeah.
Rose Dawson.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
But I go back, I mean, with James Cameron, he talks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, he has, like, 3 or 4 of the most profitable movies of all time.
Yeah, yeah.
I like this movie a lot. It's one of the rare movies where the sequel's better. Terminator Judgment Day, I think most people agree, is probably
with the guy that we saw
movie.
in
with Robert Patrick.
Yeah.
He
hasn't aged well.
Yeah. But back when sequels they made were actually good, Empire.
Because they were based on story stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't just a big trying to bring the first characters that everybody loved back for a money grab.
Right. You watch the end of this movie and you say, well, there could be
more
a continuation of this. Or it could also end. Yeah,
100%.
Which is a good way to do it. I don't know. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. This is only the second time I've watched it in full, and I liked it a lot better the second time around.
Mm-hmm.
I just love the 80s aesthetic, the music, and just
yeah.
kind of that like cheesiness. We talked about it last week, Batman 1989. Like it's a weird, like, comfortable cheesiness that it's fun to watch.
Yeah, man. Listen, I liked it. What am I going to rate it?
Yeah, what are you going to rate it?
Yeah, I give it a 4.5.
4.5. Okay. Yeah, I'm going 4.2. 4.2 on this. Because to me, Terminator Judgment Day is better, so I'd probably give that a little more. You know what I'm saying?
I'd like to get a couple of 3s in there. I feel like we watch a lot of these 4 movies, and I want to get a 5 out of you at some point.
Yeah. Well, I want to review movies that people want to hear, so I worry about throwing like a a not so great movie in there, but who knows?
Yeah, and by the way, guys, we have had comments in the past, and we've put them on the wheel. We've had comments. If you want us to watch a certain movie, or if you want something on the wheel, just leave it in the comments, and we'll put it on the wheel.
Up. Yeah.
And if it's not on HBO, fuck, like,
Netflix,
who cares? Like,
Amazon,
well,
we have all
I'll put
those.
it on the wheel, and I'll buy it if I have to. I'd rather not, but I will.
Yes.
Or
pirate it. You know? Support the industry. All right?
1, 2, 3 movies for free.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think we both agree that this is one of the classic sci-fis. Tough to beat.
Yeah, it is tough to beat. And I hope, you know what? I hope we will. So I'm sure we will, but I hope they don't remake it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they will. Oh, how many of these movies have they made? They made Terminator 1 through 3 with him, and then they made Genesis with Christian Bale, which was terrible. Then they made, they made another one, Salvation, and then they made, I don't know, I think that was it, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And Terminator actually said, or Salvation had Christian Bale, but Arnold said the other day, like, I'm done as the Terminator, but the franchise will probably still go. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Good movie, though.
Yeah,
let's figure out what we're watching next week.
Let us know what you thought of Terminator.
Please.
Yeah.
What are you thinking for a color?
I'm thinking, we go black. Let's see. We also started on that, so it might not happen. What do we watch? Oh, so close. The Wrestler, Mickey Rourke.
Ooh.
This is a good one.
When this came out, my father was very excited.
Yeah?
My dad's a big Mickey
Rourke guy.
Oh,
This is like the last movie I've seen him in. He was also in Iron Man 2, but we don't talk about that. All right. That's a change up. The Wrestler going from sci-fi to that. So, guys, watch The Wrestler for next week. I've actually only seen, like, scenes from this movie. I haven't watched it from start to finish.
I hear it's very good.
Have you not seen it either?
No, I haven't seen it.
All right. Well, we're going to get into it then. Guys, thank you for watching. As always, Movie Roulette drops every Monday at 12 p.m., and then we also have the Movie Mob podcast on Fridays at 6 p.m. if you guys want to hear about movie news, more relevant stuff to today. But, guys, watch The Wrestler for next week. We're going to be reviewing that. Comment down below what you thought of The Terminator. Comment down below any movies that you guys want to see us review. We've already done Last Night in Soho before, if you guys want to check that out. That was a fan-requested one.
Yeah.
So, like, subscribe, helps out the channel. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. How you doing?